Aries, you have music, number 27. And when I got this card, when it flew out, I heard music to my ears. So for some of the collective, you may be hearing some good news, something that you've been maybe long wanting to hear. For some, you can be getting into music, or you may be hearing signs and synchronicities through music as well. So this is interesting for the rest of April. So let's dive deeper and see what else is coming through for you, Aries. So thank you so much for being here. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. Okay, Aries, unfinished symphony. Again, symphony, there's something about music here. Very strong, number 10. Again, I'm hearing music to my ears, something that may have been unfinished, something that was long lingering. Music to my ears, something has now completed. Number 10 here. Yeah, there's 27 breaks down to a 9. So that's also about endings and new beginnings. Interesting energy, Aries. Okay, something's music to your ears. Love this. What else does Aries need to know for the rest of April? Gosh, it's coming in quick because the cards are coming out very quickly as well. Have faith in your dreams. Waxing crescent moon. So again, this is something that you've had to have faith in, maybe had to wait, and something's coming in, something's moving. Something may be closing out, maybe an end of a tough cycle as well. Interesting. Okay, let's get some more for Aries for the rest of April. I just did see the rhino there about obstacles. So there may have been some obstacles in your way here, and it just felt like a lot of hard work, maybe working towards your dreams. And I feel like now is a lucky time, right? There is this shift, this change, and it's music to your ears because you've been kind of headbutting or been faced with multiple blocks and disappointments and obstacles in your way here. So that's so interesting. Okay, what else does Aries need to know? Thank you. I feel like there's 2 in here. Oh, there's 2 just popped out. Okay. We have number 25, Elephant Spirit. Learn from the past. Interesting. So that's that something's closing out here. Number 10, 2 10s here. Buffalo Spirit, the abundant universe will provide. Here we go. Have faith in your dreams. Something is changing. It's music to your ears. Something about the past is definitely closing out here. And number 37, again, breaking down to a 10. So this is interesting. Lion Spirit, be generous of spirit. This also is maybe you are coming into a winning streak here, and that is sometimes when you've been faced with obstacles and limitations, and when something does come in and it's like, oh, that's been long awaited for, we can sometimes hold on to it a little bit too tightly with fear of going, well, what if it leaves? What if I lose it? What if I'm faced with more obstacles in the future? There's this have strength. I'm getting the strength card here, to be generous of spirit. And that doesn't mean giving your blessings away by any means. It's just not holding so tightly onto this blessing, because it is going to be music to your ears. Okay, let's get the tarot out and see what else is coming through for you, Aries. This is interesting energy. Okay, Aries, what's going on for you for the rest of April? I hope you are having a fabulous birthday season. Okay, let's have a look. Spirit, please and thank you. Queen of Cups, following your heart, following your intuition. Well, here's the Ace of Wands as well. This is emotional fulfillment here. It's music to your ears. Okay, let's have a look. What's going on in your energy, Aries? The King of Pentacles. Okay, so this is abundance. Literally, the abundant universe will provide. So maybe you're coming into some abundance here. Beautiful. What is your challenge? The Seven of Swords. Yeah. This is that fear of... I'm getting thief. Interesting. This is the lying, cheating, stealing card. It's almost like you've just come into some sort of abundance. And that can not just be in financial terms. That could be within anything. Yeah, there's this fear here that it will be taken from you. I got that in the cards. So what's coming towards you? Six of Swords. Moving towards calmer waters. This is that closing out an old... something from the past. Learn from the past here. You're moving forward. Not letting the limitations or the blocks or the obstacles that you've faced in the past make you fear having abundance. Interesting. And what is your advice here? The Ace of Cups. Yeah. This is overflowing emotion. This is emotional fulfillment. Love. Be generous of spirit. Pouring into self, pouring into others. Interesting. Okay. Let's dive deeper. If this reading is resonating for you, please like, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay. Aries. Why is the King of Pentacles here for Aries? Why is the King of Pentacles here? We have the King of Swords at the bottom of the deck, and we have the Strength. I was getting the Strength card with the Lion Spirit here. So a lot of Leo energy in your read here, Aries. It's taming the mind with the King of Swords here. And that's why the Seven of Swords is in your challenge. It's like the Tower here. Interesting. You are either stable, feeling grounded, feeling abundant, and you're trying very hard, or you're working on maintaining and controlling the mind where... Interesting. I feel like this has got linked to the Seven of Swords. So let's just dive into the Seven of Swords. Why is the Seven of Swords here in the challenge for Aries? So we have the Eight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. We have the Four of Wands, the Six of Swords, the Six of Swords is there, Six of Pentacles, And the Knight of Cups in the reverse, this is not wanting to be generous of spirit. This is that wanting to hold back a little bit. This is why the Ace of Cups, pouring into you, pouring into me. Is that a song? I don't know. Pouring into others is in reverse here because there's this fear of giving, this reciprocal energy here. Balance with the Four of Wands. You're going to lose balance. You're going to lose your stability if you are to pour into others, give to others. This could have something to do with finances, with the Eight of Pentacles here. Could have something to do with work. Now, when you look at the world, it has been there's been obstacles. There's been COVID. There's been petrol crisis. There's been so many like weather upsets that have impacted us all financially and businesses, all that kind of stuff. So there's been a lot of obstacles. There's been a lot of hardship for many years here. And I feel like it's almost created this fear of giving, because what if you are the one that's missed out or lack, or and so for some it's actually not about giving to others. It could just be fear of spending in general, giving, that's that the movement and the flow of finances, like holding on to your pennies really tight because you never know what's coming these days. So that's really interesting. Okay. Why is the Six of Swords coming towards Aries here? Why is the Six of Swords coming towards Aries? We have the Emperor. This is Aries energy with the World. You're closing out a cycle here. You're gaining a new perspective on something. So if this is not finances for some, I was getting that quite a bit. This unfinished symphony is potentially you've been burned by another in some way, shape or form. Friendship, business, relationships. And you're moving on or closing something out here, that unfinished symphony. The Seven of Wands, yeah, there's this defensive energy, protective energy. You're either protecting your finances, protecting yourself. This comes from an old wound, an old story, and that is what you're moving away from here. You're still protecting your energy, you're just not being so protective that you don't give to others, is what I'm getting here. You're having a shift in perception here about the Ace of Cups. Yeah, love, and that's self-love, but that's just love in general, compassion, giving to others, sharing. And that's not always tangible. I'm getting sharing of energy, sharing of time, words, compassion. So this is interesting. Okay, so your advice here is the Ace of Cups. Why is the Ace of Cups here? Yeah, okay. The Seven of Swords coming out again. So I feel like when you have, maybe in the past, we have the Four of Cups, disappointment. You may have given to others, and you may have been taken advantage of with the Seven of Swords. Hence why this is coming up in your challenge again. You don't want to be disappointed. And so when people, maybe you overgave, in the past. This is why the elephant spirit is here. Learn from the past here, because sometimes when we get burnt and we get taken advantage of, or we tend to close down this giving. But what that does is it slows the flow of energy exchange, and it slows your growth and your energy flow. So then it becomes this stagnant energy. But I feel like you're moving away from the past here. You're closing out a cycle, and you're learning to move in flow. This water flow is so important in this read. It's about giving and receiving here. And I feel like I don't know whether this is, how does this come about with the music? Please, Spirit, tell me more about this. Yeah, okay. So there's an ending with the Ten of Swords. That is what's music to your ears. There's an ending of some sort. Yeah, you're cutting something out with the Queen of Swords and walking away, so you can then, Ace of Cups, start to learn to give again. Give time, give energy, give affection maybe, and learn how to have that energy exchange, because maybe when you were burnt in the past, it closed you off. But there is something that's closing out here. A cycle is closing, and it's almost seeing like a water wheel, that giving of emotion. The water is making the wheel turn, and it's moving things forward here. This is beautiful. Okay, Aries, let me know if this resonates for you in the comment section down below. But this is your reading. I'm sending you much love, light, and insight, and I'll see you next time.